Hey, hey, hey. It's your girl. It's your coach, Carmelle Jean-Francois, owner and founder of CFIT Coaching. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another installment of the Sugar Savvy Solution, acclimating the foodie in you to a life beyond sugar. Today, we're talking about not five, not 10, five. Five effective ways to cope with sugar cravings. And this is, I'm talking to the folks out there who made a decision, no more sugar. I know what it's doing to my body. I know what it's doing in my life. Maybe I might be pre-diabetic. Maybe I'm already diabetic, or maybe I just know that I'm trending in the wrong direction. So I want to stop the stuff. And you might be dabbling with the idea, and you might be really immersed in it, but you're still feeling those cravings. You're still getting those cravings. Well, I want to go over 5 ways to deal with them because they will come. Cravings are natural. They're part of the recovery process. Heck, they're part of anybody's life. Pretty much we crave what we eat, right? Because our mind knows the reaction that ensues once you've eaten it, and our taste buds. And oftentimes, whenever we are addicted to something or we have it often, it's oftentimes in the midst of company, right? Or during a social gathering, parties, etc. So there's always going to be things around to kind of like trigger us, which brings me to the first effective coping mechanism when dealing with sugar cravings. And that would be recognizing and embracing the triggers. So recognizing and embracing feels like, yeah, give it to me, right? But it's really important that we do recognize those triggers. Like when we are out with friends and everybody else is maybe consuming, let's say, alcoholic beverage, and let's say it's a cocktail. We know that cocktails are full of sugar, alcohol in and of itself. And hmm, this is not the ideal situation for you to be in. You're feeling that craving, you want to partake, right? So it's about recognizing the triggers. It's about recognizing and embracing. And when I say embracing in a situation like that, especially in a social situation, embracing it might look like you telling one of your friends, hey, dude, I'm not drinking. Hey, sis, I'm not drinking tonight, and I feel like a drink. And maybe they might support you. Maybe that's not the place for you to be. And the reason why it's important to recognize these things is for you to help you cope and deal, right? Maybe what triggers you is passing by a certain restaurant. Maybe it's passing by a certain store that you know that you usually get your favorite soda drink from. Maybe it's as simple as stopping to get for gas, because we all know it's a bad idea to get our food where we get our gas. But let's face it, that's exactly what happens. Oftentimes we run into that store and we'll grab, even if we're trying to be healthy, we'll grab the nuts, but it's full of oils that we really shouldn't be consuming, or the nuts have sugar in them in some shape or form, right? Like the honey roasted kind, or some kind of a sweet and sour mix. Um, and it's so when we're passing by these stores, when we're passing by the restaurants, when we're passing by old hangout where we know that this is where we partook in whatever food, be it an ultra processed food, be it uh, coffee, right? Those lattes filled with sugar. And it's for us to recognize that that's what's triggering us. And then that way we know how to deal with it. Maybe we don't hang out with that group of people. And it's sad to think about. And it almost feels like deprivation. But that's when we stop and we prioritize what it is about our health that we're trying to do, what our goals are, rather, that we're trying to accomplish, reach for. and achieve. And we say, well, what's more important? Hanging out with these friends right now? And you might get to a place where you recognize and embrace your triggers so well, and you learn how to manage and cope whatever it is that you're feeling when you're experiencing those triggers so well that you can reintroduce these people and places back into your life. But right now, you're dealing with these cravings, and that's top priority for you to cope, deal, manage, and neutralize these cravings, right? So that is the first step: recognize and embrace these triggers. The second one would be create distractions. Create distractions means just that. Keep yourself busy doing something that completely engages your attention, right? Be it reading a book, listening to a podcast, immerse yourself in a movie, um, hang out with friends hang out with friends and participate in activities that are non-food related activities. Going for a walk, right? Um, Playing pool, things like that, but not in a pool hall because usually they'll have the worst kind of foods there. So maybe that wasn't the best example. But immersing yourself, even with games on your phone, um, singing, playing a game, borrowing one of the kids in your neighborhood or one of your nieces and nephews, or even your own children and grandchildren, and immerse yourself in an activity with them. And it's so important to keep yourself distracted. It might be work, right? That's one time you'll hear me say, like, go to work. But that's important for you to do because the cravings are temporary. And again, it's a normal part of the recovery. The cravings are temporary. And as soon as you found yourself distracted from it, then you could go on until your next meal. Because let's face it, there will be a time that we're eating again. And whether it's the food addiction or the sugar addiction end of the spectrum, once you eat when you are actually hungry, that the nutrition hits different and it won't leave you craving because now the nutrition is in your body. And usually the cravings are a little kind of like deceptive. They're like, I might be hungry, but not. So let's just fill up the space with something sweet or something that we normally would like, but is not necessarily nutritious for us. So again, these tips are for those of you who have made that decision to go sugar-free. And at this particular moment in time, you are eating healthier. You are making better choices. The one thing I noticed in my journey was when I went whole food plant-based, I really took in so much nutrition that I didn't crave anything else. My body didn't need it. It was so filled with nutrition. Okay. The next thing that I would like to offer you is practice deep breathing and relaxation techniques. So deep breathing exercises, you will find a ton of them online. And it's definitely a practice. You're not going to get it right away, and it probably won't help alleviate the situation right away. But practicing these deep breathing exercises, as well as whatever relaxation tips that you might favor, be it yoga, be it Pilates, be it mindfulness, be it journaling, right? Anything to help calm whatever stress and anxiety that you might be feeling in that particular moment in time that is triggering a craving. Anything that helps you relax will help reverse or, again, neutralize the craving that you might be feeling in that particular moment in time. So consider those. Find something that resonates with you, whether it's any of the practices that I mentioned, whether it's yoga, breathing, or journaling. And practice that for a while until you find yourself, again, relaxed. Anxiety's gone, stress is gone, cravings are gone. The fourth one that I want to offer you is support. Establishing a support system. This support system could consists of one person, that one person that you call to when you need to be walked off the ledge, right? It's like, oh my God, this craving is overwhelming and I'm about to do it. I'm about to do it. And so for me, just the sidetrack, for me, it was about me just not buying the stuff, not having it around me. And that worked for me. But for many of you, there are other people in the household that's like, oh no, that's not what I'm doing. So yeah, I'm gonna have my chocolate when I want my chocolate. I'm gonna have my potato chips, my barbecue potato chips when I want my barbecue potato chips. And be it a partner, be it a family member, or be it your children. And if some of those items that often that you often find calling your name, if some of those items and products are in your home, it's extremely important for us to practice these steps and for us to notice our triggers, right? Embrace them, really start distracting ourselves from them, practicing the breathing, um, and practicing the breathing and yoga and journaling and mindfulness in order to combat these cravings, and also having that support system. And it could be the same, it could be the same spouse, it could be the same family members that's like, no, I want my barbecue chips, but I'm here for you, sis. You know, if you feel like you're having that craving, I'll move it. I'll hide it from you. And I'll also tell you that you're strong and you got this and you're going to get through this, right? So that could be the support system that you have, one person at home, one person that you call on the phone, somebody that you text. It could be a community like the one that you'll find in the Sugar Savvy Solution. I have a new community starting next week. So if anybody is interested in that support, definitely reach out to me and let's get you the support that you need in order to maintain the level of success that you've achieved so far toward your goal of completely quitting the stuff, right? So establishing a support system is super, super important. I tell everybody when I am looking for a support system, my community, and I can't find one, I create one. So maybe you create one. Maybe you have a group of friends that whose goal is the same thing. And you just get on the phone with them and you say, hey, listen, let's just start a group chat and you keep encouraging each other. Let's keep encouraging each other until we got this thing beat. Yeah. And the fifth one, which might be the most important one, definitely for some of you, if you find yourself relapsing, if you find yourself unable to quiet those cravings, if you find yourself completely and totally overwhelmed with these cravings, how often they happen, when they happen, you notice the triggers and you've embraced it, you've journaled, you've done all the things that Carmelle said would work and it's just not working, seek professional help. Seek professional help. I cannot emphasize that enough. There might be things that you are not addressing, past trauma, right? Maybe there's something that's happening with your diet. Maybe there's something else that just needs to be addressed on a different and a professional level that you might not be equipped to recognize. It's important that you know when to say, I need help. And that help could be reaching out to Carmelle and the Sugar Savvy Solution. But that help might be a therapist. That help might be a doctor. That help might be that yoga instructor. But it's really recommended that you try not to do this alone. And what's another thing is that I would like to bring up before we end this is saying that don't think that a food and or sugar addiction is not serious. I've discussed many times on this channel the detriments of having excess refined sugar in our bodies, right? Even excess refined sugar and of course salt and oil in our body. The detriments of it, what it causes, the cardiovascular disease, the hypertension, high blood pressure, pre-diabetes, diabetes, all of those All of those things that we don't want, even Alzheimer's, dementia, right? I didn't say heart disease, right? I said heart disease. Brain fog, arthritis, autoimmune disease. All of those things can be a result of having that excess refined sugar in our system. So don't discount it and say this is not a drug addiction. This is not a substance abuse problem. This is not alcohol. You know, maybe they're dealt with differently. However, don't discount it as not being important, because it absolutely 100% is important, especially if you've gone this far to tell yourself and make that decision, I am quitting sugar, and you find yourself overwhelmed with cravings. Please don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your goals. You're onto something, and you are strong, and you can deal and cope with it. No matter anything that's happening in your external environment, you can achieve this. You can do it. And again, I'm going to reiterate it. 5 effective coping mechanisms, or 5 effective ways to cope with your sugar addiction, is to recognize and embrace your triggers, right? Number 2 is to create distractions. 3, deep breathing and relaxation techniques. Number 4 is establish a support system. And number 5, know when to seek professional help. So I'm not going to go any further than that. I just wanted to jump on here and share with you some food for thought. You've heard of these things and these techniques and tips, probably various other places, probably from me. But this is a reminder, if nothing else, that these are the things that you can do. These are the steps and the action steps that you can take in order to fight those cravings, beat those cravings once and for all. I truly, truly believe in the whole food plant-based vehicle in order to get you to quit sugar. I believe in hypernourishment. Put so much nutrition in your body that it's completely satiated and it's not craving, it's not needing for anything else. I 100% believe in that. So keep those things in mind. Know that I'm a click, click, click message away. So again, I'm always starting another program for you to jump on the mailing list. I'm just about filled to capacity for my cohort that starts next week. But listen, give it a try. If you're ready, I'm here for you. I'm ready to be your support system. I'm ready to provide you with a community. I'm ready to provide you with more tools, information, and education on how to kick these cravings, how to beat sugar and food addiction. Or maybe addiction is too strong of a word. How to beat those cravings, right? How to minimize our desiring for these foods. I'm here and I'm your girl. I just want you to be savvy about your sugar. And I would love for you to, if you have not already, subscribe to this channel and support me. And that's just going to encourage me to come on here and share more information with you. If you have not heard any information so far that is supporting your food and sugar cravings, then definitely drop me a line and I'll definitely speak on it. All right. So with that said, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing this out. I'll see you next time. Ciao, ciao.